So my two disability companies, the other one make me go for it. Trust me.
Welcome everyone to Brooklyn, New York. There's a lot of, unfortunately, news out there saying that New York City is very empty, very slow, crime-ridden. I want to show you a different side of New York that's happening right now at this very moment in time. So we're going to take a nice walk through Brooklyn, wander around. We're starting right now at one of my favorite coffee shops in all of New York City. It's Gran Caffe. I've covered them before. They sell amongst the best espresso you'll ever have. I'm Ariel, you're watching Urbanist. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me drink this amazing espresso from Gran Caffe. This is the place right here, and they have nice outdoor seating today. So let me know where you're watching from. And we're gonna visit a very interesting secret little garden, which is involved in a very important help for the community. So cheers. Amazing espresso. Truly, truly Italian taste that you don't really get that much in New York City. Of course, there's many American New York style coffee shops, but if you want that real Italian taste, you gotta come here to Gran Caffe. Let me show it to you and let's walk around. All right, let's go. It was such a pleasure meeting you both. Have a great day. So here is Gran Caffe, one of my favorite coffee shops in all of New York City. They have an amazing outdoor patio. They have some mocktails, amazing coffee inside and pastries, and also wonderful breakfast. So check out my video Gran Caffe to learn more. But now we're gonna visit a secret little garden. So let me head out with you, or are we heading with Camila? Okay, wonderful. Let's go. JP, I'm Ariel.
Ariel, nice to meet you.
So what's the name again of the place that we're...
It's called the Prospect Heights Community Farm.
The Prospect Heights Community Farm, amazing.
And it's a member of a Brooklyn Land Trust. So there's other affiliated gardens, but it's protected so it can't be developed.
Oh, interesting. And is it associated with the food cooperations that are here in the neighborhood as well? No? Okay, it's different. Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah. All right.
When things are functioning, we actually take their compost and now with the pandemic, it's not working.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, precisely.
This garden, I haven't been a member that long, but the garden has been here now, I think, for 30 years.
And were you involved with agriculture beforehand?
I was.
Yeah. It's beautiful that they opened up the open streets here.
Yeah, it's really made a big difference for you folks too, for the businesses and I think the general psyche of the neighborhood.
Yeah. Oh, wonderful. So it's amazing. You grow your own food and also you're right next to an amazing coffee shop too.
That's the best part.
So it's a really nice, cool neighborhood all together. Yeah.
There's these gardens, these kinds of community gardens, I mean, they're all over the country, but there's plenty populating around the city. We're at different sizes. This is probably a small to medium-sized one, where people raise either food for themselves, or as this year, as I made a mention, we're doing victory gardens. So we've worked with people who have given up some of their growing space, and we're growing extra food. And every Sunday morning, we give it out to people in the neighborhood that come.
Oh, yeah, and that provides such a good service, especially in these trying times.
That was my idea, that I would thought that, what can we do to feel sort of helpless? You can't really fix this problem, but you can try to, within your own community, do things to help each other.
Precisely, but for example, I have a neighbor who grows his own tomatoes, and even though my family luckily has tomatoes we can buy at the supermarket, those tomatoes that he gave us were some of the best tasting tomatoes I've ever had. So there's something unique of having fresh
There's
produce.
a little homemade sign about,
Oh.
about Sundays.
Oh, we should.
Not right there.
That's amazing.
It's so beautiful. Yeah.
So usually on a Sunday, I mean on 4 days a week, the garden is just open for people to walk in.
Okay.
But as many things, the city asked us to close. The city asked the community gardens to close. Please,
Thank you.
during the pandemic. And now recently they said, okay, it's up to you folks if you want to open. And that's what all this is over here telling you,
Oh,
you know, what days we're going to let it. But people can make a reservation. We only let a few people in at a time. And they have to,
so is it part of the city, the
No,
community
it's
garden?
just-
Part of the
There's
community.
an umbrella organization, a bigger nonprofit with the Parks Department called Green Thumb.
Green Thumb.
Right. And that's a wonderful organization, but they don't own any. They just lend support
Yeah.
to other nonprofits and community gardens. But this land trust is Brooklyn. I can't think of what it is, but there's 6 other gardens but each one is independent, and they're again. This goes back to the history of the city. Or the mayor Giuliani, he did successfully disrupt many long-term community gardens,
Oh
and they
yeah.
were destroyed and they were developed. So
Oh
then
really? I didn't
people
realize
like
that.
Midler's Foundation and other groups, these land trusts were developed,
Yeah.
and so that protects. You don't have to worry. These 3 building lots will not be ever turned into a skyscraper.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, exactly. Also, the other ones have been turned into high rises or condos, right?
Years ago, yeah, many. You know, when we were cleaning up
Beautiful.
this was buried in one of these boxes, and we dug it out. So that person cleaned it up.
So, and what are these? Oh, chili peppers.
All different kinds, but this I don't know. I grew this inside, and now it's just starting. Everything's slow. Yeah, and this I take care of this box. So I have chilies, I have beans, I have little eggplant plants which are not making yet.
Oh.
I have a lot of mince and basil. There's a lot more beans on that side. This is a morning glory, which it's just really a fancy
Oh,
weed.
morning glory. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Ay, qué lindo.
So very dangerous to
Yeah,
consume.
take a walk around. So, what people have given us is, they said, I'm not going to grow my box this year.
Yeah.
So I said, well, can we have it? And they said, yes. So we've been planting and growing. So tomorrow morning, people will come. All those beans are more than ready to be picked. The tomatoes are ripening. These never get red. This is when it's ripe.
Oh, interesting.
Is when it's
Green tomatoes.
It's a Wagner blue-green, it's called.
Wow. But they are
those-
ready?
Yeah,
Are they
when they
ready?
get
Right
like
here?
that.
And then there's a red one down here.
That's a red one. That's actually, it's funny because we compost.
Yeah.
Sometimes the seeds of old plants go into things, so you get these volunteers. Like on the far side of my cage, there's a tomato plant growing very tall with little cherry tomatoes.
Oh, I see.
No idea what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Look how many
yeah.
bees.
This is.
Yeah, there are a lot of bees. Yeah.
You should take a picture
Yeah,
of Stefano because
let's go.
he was saying this year he never saw so many bees.
Are they friendly? I mean,
Yeah, well, as long as you don't shake them up,
Okay.
they don't mind. And these right now are mostly honeybees.
oh, I see.
At some point of the day, we see these beautiful blue-winged wasps that have, it's funny, the back, instead of it being striped,
Yeah.
the back has like a little Spider-Man mask. So when you look at it, it looks like it's looking back at you. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll see one, but I don't know their cycle, but I haven't seen any.
Are you also producing honey?
No,
No.
we talk about it, but not at this time.
That's a little bit more time intensive, I assume, right? Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah. So you guys have herbs, produce. Do you also make fruits of any kind or berries?
And then more peppers here. I'm waiting for them to ripen.
Oh, I see.
We even had artichokes this year.
Artichokes. Oh,
And then
that's
see, now I'm
impressive.
behind. I haven't picked anything for a few days. So, and here, this is a beautiful one.
That's amazing.
Thank
That's
you.
perfectly ripe now.
I love
And
Great.
this actually is, look,
Great for the arepas.
See?
there might be someone open there that's better for you, but that's one of the most beautiful flowers I know.
Oh, what's the name?
Okra.
Okra. Oh,
This is
wow.
okra.
Okra. Oh, so it grows okra, the,
Yeah.
the thing that's
That's
used
the
for like
goddess.
soups.
She's just watching out over everything.
I love that.
And then we'll walk around a little bit. And
Yeah.
There's a little eggplant.
Oh, that's impressive.
That's
So you have some produce that is pretty hardy. It could feed a family very easily.
Tomorrow morning, all of this okra will be picked.
Mm.
And then you see all.
Oh, here's the okra.
yeah,
Now we
all
can see
these
it.
beans will be picked tomorrow. Oops, let's not lean on our friends. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I've never been stung here, and I find that they're very focused on eating.
What is that?
In the which one?
The jelly one, the big one.
Oh, that
yeah.
is some sort of a squash. Look at that sucker. Oh, it's a pumpkin. It's one of my pumpkins.
Where is it? Where is it?
Yeah.
That's a little spooky, I think. It's
Oh, a
called.
pumpkin.
So
And will you guys still be in service during the fall /
through
winter?
the fall, yeah, things
Through
are
the fall.
actually. And
Huh.
what we're discussing now is some of the people that have. Hi. Good to see you. How are you? Good. Welcome back.
Thank you for helping me with my plant.
Easily done. Pumpkin.
Pumpkin as well.
That was also something we didn't plant. It was just left. It was in the compost
Yeah.
soil. So we weren't sure. We said, oh, some sort of squash. We'll leave it. And so now we've been giving out little decorative pumpkins. But this, since I love to garden,
Yeah.
and I only have essentially the greenhouse or that little plot. When we started being told we could have all these other boxes for the Victory Garden, I said, wow, I got okra seeds. I got this seed. So I planted the okra here, the pumpkins here. This actually is Okinawan sweet potato vines growing here.
Oh,
The
you have
purple
sweet
sweet
potato.
potatoes.
Fascinating.
That's the vine.
Oh, wow, I love the variety here. And
And everybody really got into it. I mean, Christine is away. The person I just said hello
Yeah.
to, so she sent us a note saying, hey, don't forget, when I'm gone, you can have the stuff in the box
how many people you have working with you?
tomorrow. I mean,
Or in
the garden
general?
has over 40 members, but tomorrow
40.
we have about 8 to 10 people show up around 8 in the morning and help me.
Oh, cool, cool. On a daily basis.
And that's a better shot of the flowers. But I just can't help myself. I have to-
Yeah, of course.
I
Go
know,
for
I
it.
just see it here.
Let me see a little bit more.
Yeah, so I mean, and everybody, mostly what it is if not everyone has a box, but
Yeah.
if you go through the waiting list, you can get a box, small or large, and you can grow your own things. But this year, many people
Also-
have just said, use my box for the project. These are poblanos, but they're not poblanos yet, but hopefully they will be.
So it functions as a cooperative, so everyone pitches in, but they also get
Well,
produce.
If you have your own box, it's really much your stuff. You don't have
Yeah.
to share it with anybody. But people have been really stepping up this year and either sharing their extra produce
Yeah.
or their box altogether, just saying, you know what, I'm not comfortable this year for whatever reason. Like this is my friend Ruth. She says, I don't want to work my box. You guys take it for me.
Yeah, yeah, I see.
And then we're waiting for these to ripen.
What are those?
These are
Oh,
it's a variety called Pizza My Heart. It was just my friend Tracy
Pizza
had
My
the
Heart.
seed. She said, let's see what it becomes. And it worked. So we're waiting now.
And
And then you see, this is actually
oh yeah.
amaranth or callaloo. It's very popular West Indian and African food, and we harvest the leaves every week, and people.
What would it
like
be used
spinach.
for? What type
You
of
cook it in a stew,
stew?
or like you cook it like spinach.
Oh, interesting, fascinating.
You actually we're waiting
It's a
for somebody
green.
to ask. The sweet potato leaves can be sautéed. But this person, I love it.
And do you find the members utilizing? Yeah,
My friend did.
it's a big one.
Doesn't do it lately. Tomatoes ripening.
Do you find people able to use all the parts of the plant or the flower for cooking and other
Those
purposes?
that are interested, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we offer the beautiful dahlias. We offer the sweet potato leaves. We'll pick them if somebody wants to try it, but nobody's stepped up yet. Maybe I'll do it one day. And now the basil is starting to get cranky,
Oh yeah.
and that's a Thai basil, purple basil, but there's some mustard hopping up.
Even though I'm wearing my mask, I can smell it completely
Rub it,
fragrantly.
rub it, yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, the tomatoes actually,
It's so,
green tomatoes
yeah.
have that really, you know, if you never smelled it, really rub that and smell it.
Okay,
Because
I'm gonna try that.
I've had the luxury of walking through fields of that, and the
Oh, wow.
rich earthy aroma. So imagine if you're in a field.
It smells quite a lot. And what are these flowers over here?
Dahlias.
Dahlias.
This woman whose boxes is Rose, she's really grows some amazing stuff. And she actually, you asked about the fall and winter.
Yeah.
What we did in a couple of these boxes is we put
Move over
glass
here.
over them.
Yeah.
And that way we could keep growing all winter long.
Oh, I see.
So this year, because we're doing the food service thing, we're going to ask people if they'll lend us their boxes for the winter.
Yeah.
And then we'll work with some carpenters and we'll actually build little cold frames, it's called, above them, so we can keep growing things, like greens or other things, and harvest as long as we can into the winter for people. This was an artichoke. I'm sorry they're not in bloom for you to see, but Rose grew them in a cold frame over the winter, and then she gave us all little artichoke seedlings this spring. And they were so beautiful. I don't think any of us ate them. The flowers are so amazing. We just enjoyed them. These are called gumfrino. Just this person's just mainly doing flowers. They're saving seeds when that'll die off.
Oh, that's a way to regrow them. And do you see this happening in New York, in other places? Is it proliferating?
Victory gardens?
Yeah,
Or-
Victory Gardens.
I'm sure other people are doing it. What you're seeing more around the country now is these mutual aid groups
Yeah.
where people are helping people find either ways to get physically planted out, deliveries, or they're getting other things. But I'm not sure how many. And there's the community fridges,
Yeah.
which I'm going to meet with someone later today to talk to them about.
Oh, which I saw one in Williamsburg.
There's one there. The Playground Coffee Shop has really spearheaded like a handful of them. They're in Bed-Stuy.
Oh, okay.
So if you Google them, you'll see they're really stepping it up. But that would be the nice thing for Vanderbilt Avenue to have somebody sponsor a fridge where people can just come get fresh produce.
And how do you guys deal with pests? That might be something. There's
Everything here is organic.
yeah.
And so sometimes you get, you use soap and water.
Yeah.
And other times you get like this. This is like a mildew.
Oh, mildew. Yeah.
Break that off. But unfortunately, what's going to happen is there's nothing we really can do. I mean, I don't even know.
Of course,
if you
that's
had a
nature's process.
Well, too damp, not enough air circulation. But this will start spreading, unfortunately, to many of the squash plants through the garden, and they'll die.
Oh.
And hopefully you get some, like the zucchinis and pumpkins are coming.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get some before, and maybe, and this is our greenhouse.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool.
And we're starting.
It's actually very warm in here.
Starting things for the fall. And these are some of my pepper babies, which I'm trying to get them to grow. See, they're flowering.
Yeah.
Let's see over here. These are some tomatoes left over. Usually, late winter, some of us start growing things we haven't kept all season, and then in the spring, we have this full of these kind of trays full of seedlings, and we sell them as a fundraiser. But this year, I convinced the garden that since we were not going to have crowds of people coming here to get things, that we should do it what we call a plant share. And instead, we gave it away to anyone. We had you could have a contactless pickup. You made a reservation.
Yeah.
And we gave you seedlings. We brought them some seedlings. So anyone that wanted to home garden or terrace garden or any of this kind of thing, we just wanted to encourage people to do it.
Oh, that's good. And how long have you been involved in agriculture? Oh wow, okay. So it's been a family trade.
Is what I did in New York starting in the 80s is I went to work for a group called Green Market.
Yeah.
Which at the time.
Which is it the Union Square Green Market? Yeah.
So when I first came there were maybe 5 green markets, 4 green markets.
Yeah.
And in the 20 years that I spent there, I turned it into an internationally successful program of year-round markets. And by the time I left,
Oh, fascinating.
there were over 30 locations, and all kinds of other programs had sprouted up.
Yeah,
And then from there, I
yeah.
went to work in the original Four Seasons restaurant, and helped bring like farm fresh food into the restaurant for another 10 years. And
Also, you were at one of the very first farm-to-table restaurants in New York.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I used to go around and
Is that
lecture
the one
stuff.
that used to have the? Sorry to interrupt. But is that the
Cool.
one that used to have the Rothkos?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The
it's-
red
yeah.
Rothkos. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well-
That's it. The one. Used to have my espresso in the morning before things got going, sitting by the pool. It was a wonderful place to work. It's an amazing room. And
Oh, so you much led your inspiring like
yeah.
restaurants like Blue Hill.
I used to work
yeah.
with Dan Barber when I.
Oh, you used to work with Dan Barber. Oh,
when he first started.
fascinating. How do you? What was your business relationship?
It wasn't business.
Yeah.
One of my main jobs was to show chefs and their staff how to shop at the Green Market before it was trendy
Oh, okay. Yeah. Before it was trending. And when was this?
in the early 80s. So when
Early
people were first coming up. So then you have all these people that went through, like chefs that are no longer in New York, that came through their kitchens, like a Brendan Walsh
Yeah.
or Ollie Barker, who was the first chef at Union Square Caffe. And then you just get these traditions, and then from there, other chefs have branched out around the country.
Yeah, I did a video where a chef, he worked at the Jane Hotel, and he showed me, we went to the farmer's market, and then he cooked all the food using
Right.
the stuff at the farmer's market. I was blown away how such a great quality meal could come out of locally produced.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a
Goods,
whole meal out
yeah.
of the things we've seen today.
Yeah.
This is a cutting bed. Yeah, and I was actually somewhat still active in it until I got run over by a truck a number of years ago. And been in recovery mode since then. I was the purchasing director for the Park Hyatt in New York, where I was again bringing local ingredients into their menu.
Do you think this is going to grow, this business of growing locally here in New York?
I think it has grown since I helped start it years ago. I think it's grown like wildfire.
Wonderful.
To the point that some of the older farmers have now gotten disheartened with the markets, and they've gone on to more direct marketing.
Yeah.
Like Upstate Farms, who was Blue Hill, Dan Barber was one of their best customers. And so what's changed now is Upstate Farms has had to regroup. So today, this afternoon, I don't know how late they stay, they're on Sterling Place, my block, with their truck, and they're dropping off to just direct to you and me, whoever made a reservation.
Oh, fascinating.
So yeah, it's switching in a whole nother way. Direct marketing has really become a...
Is that in Whole Foods? I buy and Fresh Direct. I buy Gotham greens, which is locally produced.
Yeah.
I really enjoy them as well.
One of our gardeners belongs to Bowery Farm, which is not
Bowery
in
Farm.
Bowery, but it's a similar
Yeah.
thing like that, and they sell it, I think, in Whole Foods.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so glad you're running this. Yeah. The world definitely needs, especially our cities, definitely need more better slow food, especially local slow food. Because I find it a bit absurd sometimes that I'm buying things from halfway around the world.
Apples here? You grow apples?
We do. But you have to go to... let's see.
What have you been doing here?
So we are in Vanderbilt Street in Prospect Heights, and the intersection I'll ask soon. So no, not Bay Ridge. This is the neighborhood of Prospect Heights. If I'm correct, let me ask the locals what they think the neighborhood is. And yeah, it's an amazing support. So big thumbs up for them. This was very impromptu, so sorry if I'm not responding directly. So press the heart button. Give them a visit. If you're in New York, maybe consider becoming a member and helping and giving a helping hand. Getting bitten like crazy though, so bring some mosquito repellent.
So if they took care of it, then maybe you'd have a smaller tree, but you have bigger fruit. That's what the farmers do. They trim the fruit first, and that way there's less. The energy's going into making less fruit, but you get bigger fruit.
Yeah.
What's the website that people can see?
ProspectHeightsCommunityFarm.com, I think it is.
Okay.
When we go out to the left, you'll see.
I'll see it.
it's in the window there. You can see my wife is asking me, we're not the most internet.
Yeah.
I've tried to explain to her about the short term of TikTok. But you got it across a little better.
Do you have someone who runs your online services, or?
We have 2 volunteers, and that's why
volunteers?
our webpage is actually a little bit up to date now. This bed here
Yeah.
are plants that are used for dyeing,
For what?
like indigo. and this
Indigo.
is blue,
Oh,
this
wow.
makes blue.
Which one?
This will
Wow.
make a blue dye. I don't know which exactly is the indigo, but this is maintained by some of our garden volunteers, and this is just a plant. This particular first section here is all about plants you can make either fiber from or you can dye.
Yeah.
When before this happened, we would have workshops.
Oh,
We
that's
would
good.
have everything from weaving. They
Yeah.
even had me embroidering one day on my old jeans.
Wow.
Yeah, just all kinds of different things. There's a giant iron kettle back up by the greenhouse,
Yeah.
and we use it as a kiln. So one of my friends here was doing pottery demonstrations. And we also we used to make seed bombs every year where we get clay, and it would be donated often by the clay place over here on the Bergen or wherever they are. Yeah, that you work seeds of wildflowers or anything you want into the clay,
Yeah.
and use the egg cartons to shape them into little balls or little egg shapes. It's like a seed bomb. Then you would walk around to a vacant lot that needed some help, throw a few over the fence, come back in the spring.
That's
And so
amazing.
we had a workshop for that.
Oh.
We would normally have poetry readings here and a lot of things, which we're all missing because we can't do it.
Is this your first time here?
No.
No, you've been here before.
Well, this
okay.
season, usually they would
Have
come
you
to-
used the produce before for any? Nothing.
Just we
Not
bring up
yet.
things
Listen.
for ourselves sometimes.
And this might sound like a silly question. How do you prevent mosquito bites whenever you're doing
How
work
do
here?
I try to bring someone with me that has a better pheromone.
Yeah,
so the
because I
mosquitoes
do.
go to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get any bites yet today.
Oh, I got at least like 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's,
Oh, I see.
that's my trick.
Oh, I see. Okay. Is there any natural repellent that you use or make grow over here?
Spray things,
Spraying, yeah. That might-
I've actually, when it's really blooming, I experimented with rubbing the fresh lavender flowers,
Yeah.
and this will
Here it is.
tell you what's happening. That's our next opening hours.
Oh, nice. And the
That's the
website.
general board.
Let me show you over here. Oh, here it is. phcfarm.com.
That's right. Okay.
Community Garden Alliance. Wonderful, JP. Thank you so much for showing me around. And Camila for joining us.
I'm glad. I
Having
know
a
we
good
keep
time here.
saying an excuse that she's going to come walk over here, but
Yeah.
do it.
I'll walk you guys back to Vanderbilt. That's the direction I'm going.
Actually find it. It's hard to see. Jerusalem artichokes.
Jerusalem artichokes.
They're growing in here, and they're actually harvestable. But it's not till later. in the
Perfect
fall
for
when it
Italian
starts.
cuisine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a huge breed.
This is Love Lies Bleeding. I put some in the rain garden in front of our apartment building. And the city came and decided to clean for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And they took out all the stuff. They're like, what did you do? I'm like, well, we didn't know. And so now we're trying to work it out that they come help replant it.
And do you have you still collaborated since with Dan Barber or
No,
any of the restaurateurs?
So, I mean, when I was in the Four Seasons, he would come occasionally as a guest chef, but I haven't kept track of it. I got run over. I was in Midtown near the New York Athletic Club. I was walking to my office at the Park Hyatt, and I woke up in the ICU.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Truck ran, a delivery truck, knocked me right out of the crosswalk. So this is. I have a major, like concussions.
Yeah, no worries.
So I don't. I used to be embarrassed. Now I don't care.
Oh, okay.
I'm used to being this.
Oh, okay, cool.
I can only do so much activity a day before I get a little, either get a cognitive fatigue, or I get a lot of pain in my body. So I have not.
Indeed.
This is my most interaction with food. There was another restaurant that's gone from here that friends of mine own. Now they moved to Washington. It's a smaller place, but they have one of these backyards.
Yeah.
And that was part of my occupational therapy is over the last few years with other people doing the labor and me just trying to make my brain work, turned it into a beautiful lush garden for their customers. And this spring when all the flowers started coming up, and really I was like, wow, this is what we've been doing now. They closed.
Yeah, exactly. Oh wow. Yeah.
I've gotten to know the kids since they came to the neighborhood.
And it's nice. The food scene here is very thriving. Yeah.
Mitchell's been here like 35, 40 years.
Mitchell's. Oh, interesting.
So this is the original things on Vanderbilt Ave in Prospect Heights.
Oh, wow. So you've been in New York for quite a while then.
I was born in Manhattan and came around the city my whole life. But then I moved back to this neighborhood in the early 80s. I came here for a variety of different reasons. Someone, a friend of mine, introduced me to the owner of the Green Market when it was still private. And he just said, what do you want to do for me? I said, I want to build this into really something. And I did.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you did such great work because it became so famous that the Green Market was featured in Chef's Table in Netflix series with the Dan Bowers episode.
Surprised.
Yeah.
It would be good. I wouldn't have a natural thing. Yeah, no, pretty much I stepped back. In fact, when my wife took me to the Green Market today and I saw some old friends and we were there the week before and some of them were complaining about the changes and I'm like, nice to see you. I have no idea what goes on here anymore, you know. It's just glad it's still going in one way or another. It's really a big business now. I mean, I have no idea.
Oh, it is. There's a whole lot more businesses there.
Yeah.
JP, it was wonderful seeing you.
Same
Well, let me give you an elbow bump.
All right.
Have a great day.
Oh, I'm sorry. Good thing your stuff is there.
No. Luckily, I didn't leave anything there.
All right. I'm sure I'll see you here in one of your subsequent visits.
Definitely, yeah. And you'll be able to see my video on YouTube. Right. So here's my recommendation for coffee, JP. All right, let me put my volume down. Sorry if you can hear a little bit. It was a impromptu tour, and they were so nice to give that heart button to JP. He was there with his wife, and we were chatting shortly before I went live. And yeah, he's in great shape for his age. So if you didn't hear anything, I could repeat anything. Feel free to ask. Basically, the gist of it was it's a victory garden, not community garden. So victory garden, it's kind of like a cooperative. People become members and they help with working with that. And I wish I could do two mics at the same time, but it is a bit hard to do so. I only have this mic, and JP did not officially want to be on camera, so I did my best. But yeah, I can repeat anything. Now let's wander around. Let me know if you have any questions. That was the Victory Garden at the intersection of St. Mark's Avenue and Vanderbilt Avenue here in Prospect Heights. Question, are bars open? Yes, bars have been open since some of them never closed. They were to go for a little while during the height of the pandemic. Persevere? Yes, I will. Yes, it will happen. So, I'm not sure how old JP was, but he mentioned that he was in the Green Market at the height of the 80s. So, I would say maybe he was in his 30s in the 80s, or maybe a little bit older, a little bit younger, probably a little bit older. So yeah, around there, 30 plus 30, so 60 something, maybe. So yes, I do get copyright because of the music. Thus, in these live video tours, I don't want to try to avoid music because I want to enjoy these and show you these kind of real life encounters that I just had with JP and Camilla, who is the co-owner of Gran Caffe. Thus, all super chats, stars, and supporters and patrons really help out with making these live videos sustainable, so I can keep making them and keep showing you interesting places. So yeah, it's hard to monetize these videos because of the spontaneity. So I appreciate everyone who super chats, star sends, patronizes or supports via Facebook or PayPal's as well. All right, let me show you more of the neighborhood. So people are drinking inside bars? No. Bars are open with outdoor seating. Here's one of my top bookstore recommendations. B. Griffin says 70 people watching, 16 likes. Be sure to like that button. Yes, indeed. And are the streets open? This is open streets. So we're actually in an open street right now. I love Mitchell's, says Catherine. Ooh, I gotta try it. I'm so glad that old school restaurant is still open. So here's one of the coolest bookstores. Unnameable Books. It's so cool that it's unnameable. It's really chock filled with books to the brim. So highly recommend going here. Is AK planning a live stream? Vic, I have no idea. Oh good, at least bartenders are making some income. Yes, they are. And let me go back to your comment. So highly recommend Unnameable Books. Let me show you a little bit closer. Let's zoom in. JP is in good shape for his age, yes. He mentioned, I'm not sure if you guys were able to hear, he unfortunately went through an accident. A truck hit him in the city, and he is currently recovering. So if you are part of the community, do consider helping them out, supporting them, becoming a member. Do consider doing that. Here's another bakery recommendation. There's a lot of great food here. This is the little cupcake shop. Amazing, amazing red velvet cupcakes. Garrett, this is... What is their map collection like? Good question. I don't think they specialize in maps, though they do have books of all genres, including a large book section, which they probably have a few atlases, but they don't specialize in maps. We have books, we don't know their names, says Jackie. Yes, unnameable books. It's so good, it's unnameable. Thank you for your video, says Fabby. My pleasure, Fabby. Thank you so much for watching. Neil Diamond lived in Edmonton. Oh, cool. Yeah, he's from nearby. He's from Flatbush. Hello, Army from Finland. Welcome. Thank you, all urbanists, says Bernal. I use natural product called Bug Out. Works great, no D. Oh, that's good to know, Jackie. Yeah, I gotta find a non-chemical bug repellent. I usually use incense at home whenever I hang out in my backyard. So, but unfortunately I can't carry huge incense while I'm doing a live video. It would look cool though. It will make me look like a priest. Better than unmentionable. Cindy, thank you so much for the stars. As mentioned, these videos really can't be monetized in most cases because it's spontaneous. I bump into music and then boom. I don't make money, but so-and-so music company makes money. Kind of understandable, but the creator's a little bit at a disadvantage with live video. Persevere, were you always so confident speaking and vlogging in public? I've been doing this for 4 years, so if you see my earlier videos, I gotten better. You do see. Oh no, I'll leave this up to other people who watch me. Let me know. Have you noticed any big difference from when I started for the people who've been watching for 4 years? September 7th is Urbanist Day, official Urbanist Day. September 7th, tune in at 11 a.m. doing a special broadcast to celebrate Urbanist Day. So 4 years is coming up, 4-year anniversary of Urbanist. Let me know in the comments, has anything changed from my presentation or my confidence? I feel more confident on camera. I feel more relaxed when doing videos in public, It used to be very daunting to do a video in public, especially when things get very crowded. A place like Flatbush, where I did earlier, would have been difficult. Do I have a TikTok? Yes, I have a TikTok, Ariel Vera. If anyone could write that down in the comments. Ariel Vieira, that's my name. My TikTok is under my name. Kay says, much more relaxed and professional than when I started. How warm it is. It's very warm, but there's a nice breeze. So I think it's about like 82, 83 degrees Fahrenheit, but there is a breeze. I like this live stream. Thank you so much. I love the colors of your shirt, says Ram. Oh, thank you so much, Ram. I'm wearing sunglasses because the sun is pretty, there's no clouds. And so usually I don't wear sunglasses, but it's really, really sunny. And there's barely any shade in these streets. It was fun seeing you and AK's stream last night. Yes, it was fun being interviewing AK. Cool sunglasses. My sunglasses are actually from the oldest eyeglassware store in New York, and it's called Moscot. Iconic glasses. Many classic New York City celebrities bought glasses from there. You know, whenever you see a Woody Allen wearing glasses, Moscot glasses, there's many others. Graham, thank you so much for the stars. What meat shop is that? Ooh, let's see, which one are you referring to? I've gotten like very quickly. This is a food town. I think we passed it. But we are on Vanderbilt, so search Vanderbilt meat shop on Google Maps and you'll find it. Let me point out a few more things. Here's one of the best black and white cookies I've had. This is called Joyce Bake Shop. And they're really great black and white cookies. Does anyone want to grab a taste of a black and white cookie if they have one? Let me know. Very unique. It's very rare to find a good black and white cookie. Let me know in the comments. Ram says, greetings from Philippines. Yes, I've been watching your live stream, says Nikita, since 2016. I love the tours, very informative. Are winters cold in Brooklyn? Yes, very cold, brutal cold at times. Your videos and live are always beautiful. How warm is it? It's about 83, 84 degrees. 9/7 is Urbanist Day. Yes, September 7th is Urbanist Day, 11 a.m. Stay tuned. You know, gardening can be really meditating. Yes, it can. I assume that's why PJ continues doing so. Will I be going to Gran Army Plaza? Yes, I'm going in that direction. Yes, we'll pass by Gran Army. And we have books. There are no names, says Jackie. And Jeannie says, thanks, I was born in Manhattan and I appreciate you. A couple summers ago, I went there by myself and just walked around and loved it so much. Oh, I'm so glad you did. I love gardens. Oh, so glad you do. Used to sell them into my shop, black and white cookies, a lot. Are they expensive? I think they're like $4.50. These ones are probably the most expensive out of all of them. Have I done a tour of Forest Hills? I've done a tour before of Forest Hills in its history. Search Forest Hills Urbanist. Fabby, great question. Maybe one day I'll go. Do they also have chocolate baka? All right, let's see the cookie. Urbanist Mukbang says yes. Okay. Everyone knows this is partly a mukbang episode. Sorry, but let's go inside. Joyce Bake Shop. Hi there.
How you doing?
Do you guys have the black and white cookies?
How many would you like?
I would like one.
Okay, you like willpower.
Oh yeah, you guys make the best black and white.
It's us and another bakery, but the other bakery is an old school bakery. They closed.
They close. Oh yeah.
They kept saying 1 and 2. It's the same recipe. It's
Glazers, right?
Yeah.
Because you guys do it with the actual frosting.
Yes.
Which I love. Yeah.
You do this, then you do that first.
Oh okay. Oh sorry.
You take that out.
Okay,
I mean,
so-
please.
Sorry about that.
I'm a little tired, so when when
Yeah.
I'm tired, things come out wrong.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
I have a second job, so it's like, I like both black and whites in terms of the new method of making it and the old way. One is for caring camping. One is for,
Can't be interesting
Yeah.
because you can take it very easily
Yeah,
with you.
but
Let me
not
get
this
a
one.
text receipt.
yes, I'm sorry about the,
No worries. It's beeping. A bomb is about to go off.
Yep.
The bomb is about to be that bomb.
Exactly.
Black and white.
Do you have enough water?
No, I would love some water. Yeah, thank you.
I'll give you a cup of water.
Thank you.
You going to put the car?
There's some ice as well.
Hello.
Yeah,
That's
thank you.
what I got. Yep.
Yeah, I'm about to go to Gran Army.
You're gonna have fun. That
Oh,
thing is so important. That thing is so important.
Oh yeah, it is. Yeah,
Man,
it's so easy.
Look at that.
Let me show a little bit more of these pastries.
Here we go.
Thank you so much. Now, of course, you guys have whoopie pies. Amazing. Oh, you guys are now making mini pies. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And mini black and whites. Oh wow. Okay. You guys are rocking. Wow, amazing. Thank you so much.
Blog?
Have
You
a great day.
You have a blog?
Yes, you
Which
can
one
find
blog is it?
Urbanist History of Cities.
I got this.
So I cover history of cities all around.
so much.
Yeah, my
If
pleasure.
I comment on you,
Yeah.
I may comment for you to check something out later.
Of course, I would love that.
It's not here, somewhere else.
Okay, all right, let me
Okay,
know.
but do you have like an email, like if I blog you, you know what I'm trying to say, do you have, will it send it to a link, like do you have a newsletter option?
No, so just go to the comment and then
Okay.
you could drop an email and then
Okay.
I'll reach out to you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Hi, darling.
All right, let's sit down. She was really nice, really nice, really nice. New York City. It's natural. Garbage. Sometimes. All right, everyone. So, really nice offered water and everything. She mentioned that it's the same recipe as Glacier's Bake Shop. Now, Glacier's Bake Shop is the original black and white cookie place in New York City. They're the first ones who officially made it. Black and white cookies are kind of based on the recipe that's originally from the German immigrants that came here and mostly settled in Yorkville. Though the black and white cookie, as we know, it's a modern iteration, was first developed in Glacier's Bake Shop in Yorkville. Unfortunately, that place closed down about 3 years ago. I never got to try it. The thing is, Glacier's used to do it with actual frosting. Most places do it with fondant. And if you know what fondant is, it's very hard, it's like hardened frosting. And to me, it's great. You know, Zabar's, for example, sells a really good one, but I don't feel like I'm eating a very freshly made pastry. I feel like I'm eating something that's bakery, huge industrial bakery made pastry. And this is the type of cookie you'll find all around New York City, but not in this style. This is the original style with fondant. Look at that, fondant. I mean, not fondant, sorry, with frosting, with actual soft frosting. Let's try it out. So, the frosting is a bit softer. It's not so frosting-ish. It's a bit softer than fondant. Not as hard as fondant, a little bit harder than regular frosting. And you can taste the vanilla, you can taste the chocolate. Sometimes with the black and white, they taste the same. So you can taste each of them different. Oh, wow. And a great cookie, nice, big. It tastes almost like a cake. This is definitely my top black and white cookie in New York City. Zabar's is a very close second. If you're in Manhattan, go to Zabar's. If you're in Brooklyn, go to Joyce Bake Shop, 646 Vanderbilt Avenue. Really great place. Highly recommend it. I'm gonna get very full because I just had lunch before this, so I'm gonna save this for later. but highly recommend it. Also, it has coffee and everything. And they look yummy. Yes, you love that. My Freyer loves those cookies. Are you referring to your brother or to your father, Danny? Freyer is a Scandinavian word, right? And yummy in your tummy. Oh, it really is. And who made this shirt? This is Bonobos, a New York City-based company, actually. So, New York City glasses, New York City-based shirt company. Yeah, I like shopping local, even though Bonobos now is a big company owned by Walmart. Joining you late again, just in time to see your walk and got to see you eating a black and white, says Elizabeth. Wow, these mosquitoes in that community garden were gigantic. So wish me luck, everyone. What's the name of the bakery? Joyce Bake Shop. And that's a great shirt. Thank you so much. And Manhattan Chinatown? Oh, I'm not sure what you're referring to. B. Griffin. And why is he sitting next to trash? Hey, it's New York City. You don't have so many options. There's barely any tables around here. So you don't got options. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. It's New York. And 101 on YouTube. Oh, amazing. Welcome. And in Germany, black and white cookies are called Amerikaners. Yes, they are. They're called Amerikaners because black and white cookies were made by German immigrants here, and then German immigrants took it back to Germany and made Amerikaner. And I think it proliferated to a few other countries like the Netherlands as well. And yes, this company is owned by Walmart, but they still do their own thing. All right, let's continue walking around. Let me take a swig of water. And let me know if you have any questions. It feels so good to drink water. The staff was super friendly. Whenever there's friendly staff, my friends at Gran Caffe, they're friends of mine. I feature them in the video. Always very friendly. These guys were very friendly. Highly, highly recommend going to these places with friendly staff. Unfortunately, in America, there's a lot of places don't tend to be so friendly, or at least genuinely friendly. You get like the, hey, how are you? But you don't get genuine friendliness. This was genuine friendliness. So highly recommend it, just for that. Even if the food was terrible. Most likely it won't be if there's a friendly staff. But if the food was mediocre, I would still go to a friendly place rather than a excellent food place that everyone's, gloomy and just working a 9 to 5 just to make ends meet. They're a bit depressing sometimes. All right, let's continue walking around. Hey, Panagiotis. Let me know if I pronounced it correctly. Panagiotis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Let's continue walking around. Susan says, fresh, homie. Thank you so much, Susan. Definitely fresh. Feel fresh. Nice shirt. Thank you so much. I'm not sure if anyone has seen Barstool Sports pizza show. I forgot what was the name of their new pizza channel, but they do like reviews of pizza. And the guy, usually, he's dressed like a typical, I'm generalizing, of course, but like a typical Italian-American, kind of like plain white tee or plain black tee and some jeans, regular fit. And then suddenly in this recent video, he's wearing a floral shirt, reviewing actually the place I just went to the day before. I found it very funny. Panagiotis. Oh, I gotta say that a few times. Panagiotis. Learned your first Greek name. Oh, well, I haven't encountered Greek names before because I grew up in Queens. I had a few Greek friends. Yes, David Portnoy. Yes, he's a classic New Yorker. Susan, thank you for reminding me of his name. David Portnoy does reviews of pizza. Though, if you watch his latest video, it was exactly the same Roman place that I covered last week. So he covered it just like 2 or 3 days later. And he was wearing a floral shirt. And wearing a beard, which he usually doesn't have a beard or a full beard. So I found it very funny that suddenly he looks a lot more like me than what he used to look like. Loving that circular building. Oh, yes. I'll show you more of this building. So here we have some historic buildings. Look at this. Lots of cool historic architecture here. Greek food is awesome. I agree, Dwayne. Greek food is awesome. Watch my Astoria video with Action Kid coming out soon to learn a little bit more about Little Athens in New York. So he was LARPing as a Brooklynite. Maybe he was. I think he was. Let's see what this building is. This is gorgeous. Look at this. If anyone doesn't know what LARPing is, Susan is referring to live action role play. It's when someone plays a character in kind of real life, right? Not acting, but kind of playing a game. Very photogenic. I agree. Look at this. Public School 9, PS 9. Whoa, but they're condominiums. No longer public school. And look at the brownstones. Oh, wow. Same. I don't even care if the food is terrible or mediocre. If the staff are genuinely kind, I'll eat there. Says Persevere. Yes, Persevere. You know what? Another great place where the staff is always happy is Papaya King. Papaya King, they're always so cheerful. And it's just hot dogs and sugary smoothies. But I love how cheerful they are. I feel much better eating there than a so-called healthy place where people tend to be a lot more grim. Little India. Ooh, maybe one day soon. There's not that much to see in Little India. Jackson Heights is a little bit more... The Jackson Heights Little India is a little bit more pleasant. And I've done the video of that before. Where's Lenny Kravitz? I don't know where he lives. Does he live in Park Slope? Or Prospect Heights? Let me know. I don't know where Lenny Kravitz grew up. Are you going to stream tomorrow or Monday? Tomorrow, no. I'm most likely not doing anything tomorrow. But always put on your notifications because sometimes I do things very spontaneously. I do my history videos every single Wednesday and Saturday at 1 p.m. However, sometimes I just go very spontaneous and I show something. So be sure to tune in on Monday, 11 a.m. Dare to do a tour of Spanish Harlem. Vic, I've done a tour of Spanish Harlem before. I've done a food tour of Spanish Harlem. You can see that on Facebook. That was quite a while ago. But I will be back there soon. I do have to do more history there because there's really cool history of salsa music. And Here Be Bar mentioned that he was interested in doing a Spanish Harlem food tour for his channel because he wants to do it with the authentic Nuyorican, which I am. If you don't know the term Nuyorican, it's a Puerto Rican who was raised in New York. There's a few others like me, many others, of course. There's 6 million Puerto Ricans in the U.S., and many of them were first raised in New York. But famous ones are like Lin-Manuel Miranda, Jennifer Lopez, Mark Antony. Yeah. So if you would like to see a Here Be Bar collaboration of Spanish Harlem food, let him know in the comments because it's his video. It'll be on his channel. So let him know in the comments. Maybe I'll do a live stream along with that. So now we're walking to Gran Army Plaza. Let me show it to all of you. Do celebrities most likely live in these brownstones? Off the top of my head, I don't know. I can assure you there's a few. Actually, one celebrity I do know that lives in the brownstone in Brooklyn is Peter Skarsgård with his wife, Maggie Gyllenhaal. Maggie Gyllenhaal is the woman, the love interest in the Dark Knight series. Peter Skarsgård he's actually going to be in the new Batman movie as like one of the district attorneys. And he's been in a few other movies. So that's the only celebrity I know off the top of my head that lives in the brownstone. You could do a quick video of Little India to show the many restaurants that are there. Catherine, yeah, you know the reason I haven't done like a live Little India video is because a lot of those restaurants are sit-down restaurants. There's no like to-go restaurants in Little India. But maybe I'll go live from sitting down in the Little India video. Maybe. Let me know if anyone's interested in seeing kind of the New York Indian food experience. Eating some chicken tikka masala, which I know is not, it's a little bit different in India. We have our own more kind of American version. Yeah, a lot of writers live here. The guy who wrote Bored to Death, the HBO series, lives here. Jonathan Ames. I bet Wes Anderson lives somewhere around here. I just bet you he does. Maybe you could do a collaboration. Yeah, maybe I could do a collaboration for Little India. If anyone knows any cool Indian vloggers, Indian American vloggers, or could also be Bangladeshi or Pakistani, let me know in the comments. I love your walks around town. Oh, I'm so glad you do. So here we're approaching Gran Army Plaza. Here's a statue of John Fitzgerald Kennedy, our main man. Unfortunately, was assassinated by apparently a lone gunman who had a very poor line of sight and was also known as a very poor marksman. That is for another video whenever I visit Dallas, Texas. I think that was the place he was assassinated. One day you will see a JFK history video. If anyone's curious, highly recommend the movie JFK by Oliver Stone. People from South Asia are collectively called Desis. B, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, that's interesting. The vlogger, NYC show is Indian. Interesting. Thank you for letting us know, Ruben. Gracias. Bueno saber que de indio. Lots of writers live in this neighborhood. Yes, Susan, if you know any, let us know in the comments. I love your walks around town. J-Lo's a New Yorican. Oh, yes, she is. What's the most dangerous part of New York? So, Vic, danger is a complicated term, okay? So, when I say what is a dangerous neighborhood, is not a judgment upon the people who live there or upon the community itself. But from what many New Yorkers, including myself, would be wary of going, personally, and I know this from many friends I know and family members, is a neighborhood like Brownsville and South Bronx. It's not a judgment upon the neighborhood or the community, but those are the neighborhoods I would personally be wary of. Look at this beautiful fountain. You should do a collaboration with fellow YouTubers Sarah and Tom. Maybe. I meant for the Spanish Harlem you were talking about. Oh, Virginia? Yes. Do you have a cultural celebration in New York with art, food from countries around the world? Dwayne, we have a bunch of them. It's the pandemic, so none of them have happened. But for example, I've done the Puerto Rican Day Parade, one of the largest parades in America. At some point, there was over 2 million people who attended every year. There is the Queens International Night Market that has great food from mostly Southeast Asia. So you have Indian food, you have Pakistani food, you have Bangladeshi food, you have Indonesian, Nepali, Indonesian, Malaysian, etc., etc. Great festival in Fresh Meadows Park. Then you have the Caribbean Labor Day Parade. Unfortunately, that's not happening, but it takes place at this area of Brooklyn, all the way to the south, where we were earlier in Flatbush, and it's one of the largest Caribbean parades outside of the Caribbean. And not Latin Caribbean, but the other Caribbeans, Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago. Action Kid does have a video on Brownsville, Julio. Fernando, Brownsville is in Brooklyn. No wedding couples, not right here, not right now. This is not really a wedding spot. I'm not sure. Has anyone seen a wedding photo here? Do you watch other people's walking videos? No, Ralph. I don't really watch walking videos. I appreciate Action Kid. He's a really talented person. But in general, I just don't watch walking videos. I already walk enough myself, so it's like asking a writer of thrillers, does he read other thrillers? Usually they would say no. Yeah, so I don't watch other walking videos. The videos I do watch are history videos. I love watching videos about cinema, film. I watch a lot of documentaries about history. I watch some other history vloggers. Yeah, most comedians only watch dramas. I've heard the same. I know a few comedians that are like that. Will you do Clinton Hill? I think I've done Clinton Hill, but maybe one day again. I never did an official Clinton Hill, yeah. Can you get a closer look at the statue? Ooh, Virginia, yes. Let's go back. Let's go back. I'm carrying this water. It's annoying to carry a water where you can't drink with a mask. You can't do no longer New York style drinking coffee or either iced coffee or hot coffee at the same time as walking. Love the floor. Yeah, it has amazing stones. Look at that. Let's take a closer look at the statue. I've done a video about the history of this statue before. It's because this entire area of Brooklyn, they wanted to make it look like Paris. Viewer discretion is advised. There is some male nudity. Statue nudity, not real nudity. It's very cooling. Have I done a walking tour of Harlem? Yeah, many of them, but on Facebook. I just started YouTube 2 months ago, or a month ago. I have a lot of older live videos. Search Urbanist Live on Facebook. From British Columbia, welcome. Nice to see you here, Rob. Any word on small doors? Oh no, I never figured out what the small doors are for. It's truly a mystery. I don't know what they are for, and I can't find any articles or any theories on what they are. Rob is referring to the history video I did of Carroll Gardens. All right, let's go up here. I will do a Harlem video soon. I think a lot of people are asking about Harlem because there's a lot of rumors going on about its current status. So, you know what? I will show it to you. Stay tuned this week, this upcoming week. Here is Gran Army Plaza, the Grand Arch. It's basically the Arc de Triomphe of Brooklyn. This is bigger than the Washington Square Park arch. Can you do the Bronx, Shirley? I've done a few videos of the Bronx. Go on Facebook, search Urbanist Grand Concourse. Are we in Paris? It looks like it. It looks like we're in Paris. It is truly grand in person. Oh yeah, look at that. This is so awesome, says Fernando. Oh, Fernando, gracias por mirando. I like photography for over 30 years. If I was there, I'd be taking a bunch of photographs. Oh, I know. Me too. You might see a photo soon. Speaking of photos, if anyone wants to check out my photos, follow me on Instagram, Urbanist Live. So you can go to the top of this arch. We're over here. And it's closed right now. But maybe one day we will have access. There's a market across the street. We'll go. Oh yeah. Hello from Flagstaff. Hello, Fran. Nice to see you. Pastro from Brazil. Me and my girlfriend are watching me. Oh, cool. Welcome. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Look at this. I've also done a video of history of this. Does it house people? No, this does not house people. Needs a power wash, maybe. Yeah, I think it does. It could be wider. Let's take a look at the columns ahead. Yeah, let's check it out. The columns, yes, we'll check out the columns as well. Let me show you a little bit more of this arch. It's a bit confusing, the word arch, because in French it's arc. But arc has a different meaning in English. This live stream is so positive and uplifting, says Dwayne. Dwayne, I'm so glad I can uplift via thousands of miles away in a city that everyone's saying is a hellscape filled with crime. People are comparing New York City to cities to a movie like Mad Max Fury Road or Escape from New York, if you've seen those movies before. Oh no. Does it look like Mad Max Fury Road to all of you? Does it look like a hellscape filled with crime, disease? Well, there is disease, but it's lowering. Does it look like a lawless city? I don't want to talk about politics, but just in terms of city, this is okay. I feel good. I'm calm. I just had a great coffee and went to a community garden. So again, no politics in the comments, but I'm just commenting of what the news is saying about the city. Sans politics, what they're saying about the city. In the context of people who live here, in the context of people who might want to take a day trip here if you're living nearby, or consider a trip here whenever things open up again. I'm just showing you, like, no, New York City is fine. It's fine. So now this is the grand entrance to Prospect Park, designed by Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux. You might recognize those names. They are the designers of Central Park. Now, don't tell this to Manhattanites, but some people say that Calvert Vaux and Frederick Law Olmsted felt that Prospect Park was Central Park 2.0. A lot of the things they wanted to do in Central Park, they got to do here in Prospect Park. But don't tell that to Manhattanites. Shh, keep it a secret. You make me want to visit New York City, says Dwayne, where my maternal ancestors came from. Oh, cool, Dwayne. Yeah, I hope you get to visit. They came from Czechoslovakia and Poland in the early 1900s. I also have ancestors from Czech Republic many generations ago, maybe about 5 or 6 generations, and they moved to Puerto Rico. Rose says, hello from Portland, not burning either. Yes, I hope someone is making some videos of Portland like I am. You know, similar videos, just walking around. Glad to hear the same thing in Portland. I can't wait to visit Portland. They have great coffee over there, I've heard. I also love the series.
Chicken pasta, beef pasta.
They're doing portable food selling, Jamaican style. Have I been to the Czech Republic? I have, before I started making videos. So I can't wait to go back. Would love to make videos in Prague and other parts of Czech Republic. Let's take a closer look at these. What are these pillars? So Nikita, these pillars are decorational. They are the grand entrance to Prospect Park. Prospect Park is similar to Central Park, designed by the same guys. It's just a huge recreational park here in New York City, and this is the grand entrance. They're using a lot of imagery that you'll see all around America. The eagle. Yeah, basically it's all the eagle. You see this ionic column. And the eagle's on top of a globe, so maybe that represents the Earth. Yeah. Ooh, my fellow Jamaicans. Oh yeah. Lots of good Jamaican culture close to here, Shirley. Watch my previous video. I did Flatbush. Lots of Jamaican restaurants in that area. Ariel, you're truly a blessing to NYC. I'm so glad I am. Thank you so much. That means so much. That means so much. Now, I wish I could show you Prospect Park. There tends to be very bad service there. I'll try maybe on another day, but we'll go. I'll show you a little bit more of this museum. I mean, this library, and let me know if you want to see anything else. You're saying these are Doric columns. Oh yes. Is it Doric, then Ionic, then Corinthian? Or is it Ionic, Doric, then Corinthian? Let me know. What's the order? Sometimes I get mixed up on the order. George is saying Doric. Yeah. Let me know what's the order of from simple to complex. Okay, so Doric is simple. Okay, thank you, George. Doric is simple. Ionic is a little bit more complex on the top, and then Corinthian is very ornamental. These are Doric. Thank you, George. I'm glad we have a local stonemason expert watching these videos, George. Your knowledge is always appreciated. Gracias, Ruben. En español se dice dórico, jónico y corintio. En ese orden. Gracias. So Doric, DIC. Rather not say that out loud, but DIC. DIC. Let me show you a little bit more of the market. Sometimes these guys don't like people making videos, so I'll show it from afar. So there we go. They're selling some goods. Lots of shirts. The farmers market seems to have ended. Sometimes these farmers market end around 3-4 p.m. So Corinthian would be Baroque. Yeah, it would be very complex. It would be something that you would see in Baroque architecture. Again, this is a wandering, so this is not researched ahead of time. I'm talking about the history I have from my understanding. I may misremember things. I may not. So do your own research before you repeat it. But this is the beauty of live video. We can have a chat. This is chatting with a friend. This is not a history lecture. Just want to make that clear. Sometimes people tune into these videos and they think there needs to be a bibliography attached. Like, oh no, guys, this is a chat with friends. So here someone's taking wedding photos. Let me zoom in and look at these beautiful design of the Brooklyn Public Library. Oh, look at that. The Brooklyn Public Library is definitely one of the most uniquely designed libraries in all of New York. It's very Art Deco, though to me also looks, it's Egyptian revival? Or Neo-Egyptian, if anyone can clarify. Because yeah, it does have that kind of Egyptian look to it. Is that library closed in person? Yes, it's closed in person currently. I think. Yep, it's closed. Dwayne says, it's not a history lecture, but I still see some cool history. Yes, it's like these videos, the wandering ones at least, are hanging out with a friend who loves history, that's all. Not journalism, not a lecture. Mr. Softy Trucks, the iconic Mr. Softy. You can grab yourself a good milkshake. Great ice cream cone. What does BLM mean, John? I think, John, you do know. I think you do know, John. The Brooklyn Museum isn't even open yet, but yes, I'll show it to you outdoors anyway. Panagiotis, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Panagiotis, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. I appreciate it. He says, keep up the great work. I explore my dream city through your videos. They are also very relaxing. Oh, I'm glad, Panagiotis. I can't wait to go to Greece again. I went to Athens before I started making videos. I was actually on Snapchat, and I did Snapchats of Athens. So, excited to go there back again. Thank you so much for the super chat. People like you sponsor these videos. Helps to keep it running. I love libraries. Me too. So B. Griffin says the BLM above the entrance stands for Brooklyn Library and Museum. So I know I have a lot of international viewers who are a bit unaware of what's happening in America right now. No politics again, but simply put, BLM means Black Lives Matter. And at least from the historical perspective, a lot of great musicians, poets, actors, comedians like Eddie Murphy and Chris Rock, actors like Wesley Snipes and the Wayans brothers, they're also writers and directors, countless amazing musicians and writers, African Americans have been based here, come out here in Brooklyn and got their start in their careers here in Brooklyn. So there's a lot of great African American culture here. That's all I'll say. Why do I steer clear of politics? Because this is not a political show. This is a show about history, architecture, and food. That's it. That's it. This is a distraction. Do you go to a bar to eat a salad? No. You go to a bar to have a good drink. That's exactly what Urbanus is. You go see these videos to have some fun with history, food, architecture, and some culture. There we go. I was taught to read and write before I started in school. Oh, cool, Dwayne. That's amazing. What's your favorite band from New York? Oh, Dwayne, great question. I would say, by far, at this very moment in time, my favorite band from New York is Vampire Weekend. Vampire Weekend. Let me know in the comments who's your favorite band from New York. For me, it's Vampire Weekend. This is a band I just keep on listening over and over again. I grew up at a time when indie rock ruled. So a lot of my favorite bands are from New York. Grizzly Bear is another one. There's many others. But Vampire Weekend is the one that just, the songs have stuck in my head. Every time I listen to them, they immediately make me think of Brooklyn, Williamsburg, hanging out in Central Park and Columbia University. They just remind me of New York. John says your interaction with your viewers is about the best on the moment. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thank you. So Revel bikes are up again. Libraries are one of the greatest forms of free entertainment. I agree. And pro tip, if you want to see some great old Broadway musicals that you can't find on streaming, you can go rent them at the library. I haven't tried it myself, but I do have friends who are musical theater in the industry and or teach it, and they have themselves seen some great musicals that were recorded and put on DVD. So that's a big pro tip for anyone if you're in New York. Are you possibly in the area of Brooklyn Botanical Gardens? Yes, I am. It is open. I think they close around this time, but it is open. And I have visited it 2 years ago. I like Body Language from Brooklyn. Ooh, Julio, I never heard of Body Language. Kiss too. Kiss is from New York, right? Yeah, Kiss is from New York. And Kiss has a great song about New York, Dwayne. Neil Diamond is also a New Yorker, Flatbush. Simon and Garfunkel as well. Oh yeah, Feeling Groovy. The Sound of Silence. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Ba-da, ba-da, ba-da-da. Scott says, oh my God, what am I saying? My fave is Velvet Underground. Oh yeah, Velvet Underground. They're New Yorkers. Yeah, they are. The Ramones as well, as Ruben said, Los Ramones. And I have to give a shout out to my salseros, Puerto Ricans, El Gran Combo. Sorry, not El Gran Combo. They're from Puerto Rico. La Fania All-Stars. La Fania All-Stars, including Celia Cruz, Ruben Blades, Johnny Pacheco, and many others. If you want to listen to some great New York music, is La Fania All-Stars. Yes, they are from New York. It is salsa, and salsa is from New York. It stems from a combination of music from Cuba, Puerto Rico, has jazz influence and funk influence, and a little bit of Mexican influence with sancocho. But salsa is New York music. It was developed here, it thrived here, it became world popular through the bands that played here. So, La Fania All-Stars, yes. Ruben, thank you for writing it down. Big recommendation for everyone. I know salsa might not be popular in some parts of the world, so if you want to have an introduction to a new type of New York music, check out that band. So that was the entrance to the Botanic Garden we just passed. And here is the Brooklyn Museum. Let's go. And they're rebuilding the subway platform, so they're adding an elevator, which is really cool. And Jackie, you know me. For New York, music starts with Barry Manilow. Yeah. Oh, Philip Glass is another classic New York City musician. Oh, I love Philip Glass. Ooh. Kuyanakatsi is one of the best songs ever made. Ladies and gentlemen, and people of all genders, here is the Brooklyn Museum. Yo, as Americans say. Or if we go the other direction, oi, as New Yorkers also say. Depends what part of New York. So, behold the immense beauty, the majesty, greatness, wondrous, lovely, majestic, marvelous Brooklyn Museum. designed by Stanford White. This museum was actually supposed to be 11 times bigger, but they ran out of money. So they made it an 11th the size. But imagine this museum would have been bigger than the Louvre, would have been bigger than the Met. Well, finally, an elevator for that stop, yes. Let's walk up here. So speaking of salsa, it is the pandemic, but when things go back to normal, they host free salsa nights here in the lobby of this museum. You can come dance, they teach you how to dance, and then there's a live band playing the entire night. ¿Cuál es la pieza más popular en este museo? Pregunta Ruben. The most popular piece in this museum. Es una buena pregunta. Yo no sé cuál es exactamente la pieza más favorita. Es una pieza feminista que se llama 99 platos de comida. So the most famous piece I know of is the feminist work of art called 99 Dinner Plates, I think. All right, guys. Before I go into the sun, I'm going to take a small water break. Feel free to ask me anything. We're not so small. We're just chill here. This is beautiful. And I got like views. Look at this. I feel like a king. I got views of my kingdom of Brooklyn. Okay, everyone, we're doing a hostile takeover of Brooklyn, so welcome to the new kingdom, independent kingdom of Brooklyn. I'm joking. I do not condone making empires. Great place for photo. I agree. It's a great place for photo. And yes, Judy Chicago. Such a wonderful artist. Great piece of art. I don't think it's here anymore, unfortunately. It was here since the beginning. I think that they did it, which was maybe in the mid-90s around there, or a little bit earlier. And I just listened to Vampire Weekend Harmony for the first time and loved it. Thanks for the tip. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, Vampire Weekend. If you want to listen to their classic music, check out their first album, which I think is self-titled. "99 Plates," I think, is the name of the work of art by Judy Chicago. Check it out. Highly recommend it. If you're going to come to Fifth Avenue, to Washington Square Park, and then Manhattan Bridge and walk to Flatbush Avenue, yep, it's great. Yeah, Steve Lacy collab with Vampire Weekend. It would be so amazing to do a live video walk with one of the members of Vampire Weekend. There's also the main singer. What's his name again? Ezra. I forgot his name. But yeah, I haven't done a live video yet with a musician or with like a famous musician. So maybe one day you'll see a live walk through Vampire Weekend's New York. Most likely just be Columbia University and Central Park, because a lot of the songs reference that area of New York. The Strokes are also a great band from New York. They are, and that's where the Yo/Oi statue is. It used to be in Dumbo. The New York Philharmonic is a great orchestra. Yeah, it is. Dwayne. Leonard Bernstein, composer of the great West Side Story, is also from New York. Great musician in his own right. And of course, Stephen Sondheim. You can listen to amazing classic Broadway musicals. West Side Story being the one that he wrote lyrics to, but he also wrote the music and lyrics to Sweeney Todd, Company, and countless other things. Ask Patti Smith. Yes, I gotta find Patti Smith's email, or maybe DM her on Instagram. I'm gonna give that a try. I gotta read her book first. So yeah. I'll try Patti Smith, because she has a lot of cool New York stories, and I think she might be keen for a video. And Latin freestyle, my favorite. Ooh, I haven't heard of Latin freestyle. I'll check it out. Don't garbage trucks collect 2 times or 3 a day? No, I don't think so. I think it's only in the mornings. Yeah, I think it's only in the mornings. And Sondheim is amazing. He really is. He really is. And are you standing in some sort of bleachers? It is. I don't know what this is. Let me show it to you. I don't know what this is. I think this is new. Yep, some sort of bleachers. I think this is a new platform. Hopefully I'm not locked in. So the dinner party apparently is still here. So I called it 99 dinner plates by mistake. There are 99 plates on there. So the dinner party by Judy Chicago apparently is still here on the 4th floor. Yeah. And Urbanist History of Cities wasn't there. It wasn't there when I was there in February. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. If anyone, it's been closed since March, so who knows what's going to happen with the Brooklyn Museum. Books are fantastic. They are. I've heard that they are Patti Smith books. And I think I was touring or did a retrospective tour, says Bernal. I'm standing on the platform, Jackie. And great place for a photo. I highly agree. And looks like the Met. It does. It was designed around the same time. So this museum was designed, I think, just a few short years after the main building that we see outdoors, the famous front of the Met. The Met is a bit older than that building, but that building was built around the same time as this one. And Patty's books are all wealth of reading. Ooh, if any, which one do you recommend reading first, Scott? Or a few other people said that they like her books. Which one do you recommend first for Patti Smith's books? Not forgetting Frank Sinatra. I'm surprised no one mentioned Frank Sinatra. No one mentioned hip hop either. You know, New York City is the birthplace of hip hop. We're close to Fort Greene, Brooklyn, which I mentioned a bunch of comedians, actors, writers, directors, and also hip hop artists came from just nearby at Fort Greene. And also we're close to Bed-Stuy, and a lot Biggie came from Bed-Stuy. So there's a lot of great rappers also from New York. And hip hop artists. Do you see photos of the lightning hitting the top of the Empire State Building? I haven't seen it yet, but the lightning has hit the Empire State Building a few times, so I've seen older ones. Sonic Youth is also from New York. Rum DMC is also from New York. Grandmaster Flash is also from New York. Countless jazz artists from New York. Literally, okay, so I think this might be a good thing to mention before we start walking again. There's this sense, unfortunately, what's happening around the U.S. is that New York City, it doesn't give anything to the culture of the U.S. That only takes away from the U.S. in terms of culture, in terms of music and movies. But historically, New York City has been a powerhouse of cultural output, American cultural output to the entire world. It's New York that has offered the biggest hip hop artists, jazz artists, pop artists, rock and roll, indie rock, electronic, because you can't forget electronic as well, had its origins here, salsa and Latin music, right here in New York City. So keep that in mind as we're walking around. You know, it's easy to dismiss New York for its flaws, and it does have some flaws. And like any other city, it struggles with certain points, right? We are in a natural disaster. This is a natural disaster, COVID. Regardless of the details of it, it is a natural disaster. And yes, we can focus on its flaws, but we can't forget that this city is the birthplace of so much art, movies, engineering, basically anything, literally anything. Even the light bulb was invented here, well, Menlo Park, but the inventors are from New York. Lewis Latimer from New York. Tesla became a New Yorker. Thomas Edison, most of his life was in New York, at least when he was designing all those electric equipment. New York City is important. So people say otherwise. History is not on your side. I'll say that. Let's keep on walking. Let me know what you think. the film industry was invented in Flatbush. Yes, interesting. Disco is also from New York. Oh yeah, can't forget about disco. And of course, hip hop was inspired by the electronic music that was coming up from disco, and disco was inspired by funk. So, all comes full circle. Let's continue. Jackie concurs. I wish I was there, says Zeba. Let's continue our walk. Thomas Edison also invented wax paper, the phonograph, the storage battery, and other things. Yep, and also film. This side is closed, so I think we gotta go to the other side. Let's go to the other side. Steve Reich, yeah. Donna Summers. She is a New Yorker, right, Indiana? Jay-Z, of course, is a New Yorker. Tupac was also from New York. Countless writers are from New York. The list goes on, literally. I'll be hard-pressed to find a list bigger in any other city in America. I don't want to pit cities against each other because we're all one nation. But being one nation, we can't forget the contributions that this particular city has had. Jay-Z is named after the subway line. Yeah. Donna's from Boston. Okay, thank you, Scott. So close enough. All right, let's continue walking. All cities have beautiful, yeah, of course, all cities have beautiful places. It's just, it's very disheartening seeing a lack of recognition that's happening with New York in the recent past. So look at that, yo. Let's get closer. What genre of filmmaking do you do persevere? So right now, I do mostly a lot of corporate movies and corporate films, videos, and dance films. I've done 2 short films that are drama. So those are the films I made so far. Dance and drama. But in terms of what I intend to make is sci-fi. And I would love to make also romance movies. I think you're going to have to do a video on the effect of different types of music has had in New York City. Okay, I think I might have been called to do that. Here's oi. Oi. Yo in Spanish. Yo is I in Spanish, sí, Ruben. Pero yo aquí en Nueva York es como ¿cuál sería la traducción mejor? Yo es como mira muchacho. Mira brother. That's the translation. Yo means if anyone doesn't know in New York or in America overall, yo is like hey. It's a bit hard to translate. It's used in many different ways. But hey is one way it's most frequently used. John Travolta. Yeah, Noah Baumbach is from New York, Susan. Thank you for letting us know. I love Noah Baumbach. It's one of my favorite filmmakers. Como yeah, sí. Y cada país latinoamericano tiene un diferente término, pero sí, es como Yo is also a greeting. So, en español, yo también es como hola. ¿Cómo estás? Yo parlo italiano. Oh, yo no parlo italiano. Yo parlo solo español. Okay, which way should I go? Which way should be the best? This way is not so interesting. Oh, this way is a bit more residential. Let's cross the street. Let's go back to Prospect Heights. Yeah. Ángelo, sí, mi familia de Puerto Rico, sí. Yo soy boricua, New Yorican. Ziba, yeah, my Italian isn't so good yet. Maybe one day you'll hear better Italian from me. Even a lot of Croatians in LIC in Astoria. Oh yeah, I can imagine. The USA gave world blues music, country music, hip hop music, Motown, rock. Yes, of course, yeah. Those other types of music you will find in other parts of the U.S. Blues, because of blues and Motown, that's other cities that have output it a lot more and started it. But a lot of people don't know that also folk music. Mamas and the Papas, Bob Dylan, and many others have got their start here. This was kind of the melting pot for all these different folk musicians, which when you hear it, you might think, oh, these guys come from Middle America, and a lot of them do, but they came and lived here in New York, and that's why the folk music industry, as we know, really popped out here. Pop music, modern pop music as well. Where did red brick architecture started? I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know the very origins of red brick architecture, though I would, an educated guess would be, this is much, much older. Red brick architecture. Beat poets, yeah. See, the list literally never ends for what New York has given to the world. Is having a car more typical in Brooklyn? A little bit more typical, yes. I think in Manhattan you'll see a lot less car owners, but in Brooklyn you'll see more. In Queens even more. Staten Island I think is mostly car dependent. So yeah. I don't think we'll ever see a songwriter as prolific as Bob Dylan or Leonard Cohen. Oh, it'll happen again. I'm sure there's a few out there. Dwayne, and anyone else who might be interested. I think the modern day Bob Dylan / Leonard Cohen is alive right now in New York. He's from Brooklyn. His name is Sufjan Stevens. Sufjan Stevens, if anyone can write down the name, both on Facebook and YouTube. Sufjan Stevens. He is truly one of the most prolific and talented singer-songwriters of our generation. And I think he will go down in the history books. So check him out, Sufjan Stevens. There's an accident happening. Does anyone want to rubberneck? Let's see. Ángelo pregunta, ¿qué área de Nueva York es mejor para vivir? Ángelo, excelente pregunta. Angelo asks, what's the best area to live in New York? El mejor sitio para vivir en Nueva York es una pregunta bien difícil, porque hay muchos sitios que son buenos y también es diferente en cuál gustos tienes. Pero en general, si tú quieres algo un poco vida más tranquila, es bueno a vivir aquí en Brooklyn, como áreas como estamos aquí en Prospect Heights, o en Queens. Y tú quieres un poco más de vida, al lado de todos los restaurantes y todos los sitios para hacer cosas de noche, tienes que vivir a un neighborhood como un barrio como East Village in Manhattan. For quieter living, you have to live in Brooklyn or Queens, single family homes in Queens. And for restaurants, you have to go to, for more livelier place or restaurants, you have to go to East Village. And Astoria. Astoria is also great. Thank you, Dwayne, for writing down Sufjan Stevens. All right, let's go back. I want to show you this avenue, which I don't even know what this avenue is. Let's find out. Thank you, Bernal and Nikita, for writing down Sufjan Stevens. Sufjan is a Indian name. I think it means the man who walks through skies. It's a beautiful name. But he's not Indian. He's fully American. It's summons up time in Brooklyn. It's beautiful, Ziba. Yeah, I agree. Beautiful. Look at that. Chick is also a group from New York City. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it. Ziba says it's beautiful. It really is. Mix of classic condominiums and new condominiums. Lots of outdoor restaurants. Like we see here. Right there, outdoor restaurants. We zoom in. The trees are glorious, I agree. If anyone knows what trees these are, let us know in the comments. Lots of tree-lined streets in Brooklyn and also avenues. Nikita, thank you for clarifying. It's Urdu. Urdu, so it's not from India, it's from Pakistan. Urdu, Sufjan is Urdu. Where do you get your groceries around here? We passed a few grocery shops. There's like a food town. There's the farmers markets. Dutch elms, says Wayne. Well, thank you, Wayne. Dutch elms. Trees are huge in New York. Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, there's supermarkets. If you are from Europe, you might be used to seeing grocery stores a lot more frequent. Here, the supermarkets tend to be bigger and less frequent. So there's not that many of them in every single city block, but they tend to be a bit bigger. Hey Jack, you're watching from St. Petersburg, Russia. Welcome, man. It is day. Oh, Bernard, thank you so much for clarifying. So it's not Urdu. Sufjan is Persian. It means comes with a sword. In bodegas. Yeah, you can make your shopping at bodegas like this one. Any protests in New York? They're happening, but they're generally peaceful. So I wouldn't worry about visiting New York at this very moment in time. Just keep your eyes peeled. If I'm here this upcoming November, I'll be sure to update you how New York City feels during the election time. If you want to visit New York right now, if you're nearby, if you're watching from New Jersey or Queens or Connecticut or some nearby state and want to visit, yeah, things are feeling very safe and very calm right now. Of course, you be the judge. We're walking around. It's already 2 hours, so you be the judge. Oysters, cool. So now we are in, let's see what street we are in. We're on Washington Street. Washington Avenue. Who can park on the side of the street? Anyone. There's no permits here for most of Brooklyn. Here's one of the classic restaurants of Brooklyn. A pizza bar right next to it. Cool. They have a patio in the back. When will you take a mukbang break? Oh, people are really enjoying the mukbangs, it seems. Will anyone want to end with a nice mukbang? I think there's a good pokeball fish stop. Here is a nice old fire department / police department stall where you can call them. Is WFR's live going on? Oh, I'm not sure. CRH. Is that a radio station? I don't know. I haven't listened to radio in quite a while. Nikita, mukbang is a term for eating on camera. So whenever I do a food video, that would be considered a mukbang. Is the term is it Korean or is it Chinese? If anyone can let me know for sure. I think it might be a Korean term. But yeah, it comes from Asia. It means eating on camera. Walk, ride, fly. Another streamer. Oh no, I don't know. I haven't met him. Don't know too much about his videos. Seems like a nice guy. Saw him briefly at Action Kids video.
Gather up your songs and Jesse's songs and fix it.
These call boxes went up in the 1970s. It's just a stand for my coffee. Yeah, I'm not sure if most of them work. Those restaurants are cool, especially for those with the apartment above it. Yeah, here there's a lot of nice restaurants, lots of seating outdoors. Fantan, welcome. Fantan. Like your name, Fantan. Oh. Yeah.
You haven't really found.
Hey, Far. You work for the FDNY? From Fort Greene? Awesome, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for your service as well. A little coffee shop here. Very nice seating. It's called Penny House. Oh, I like this. I like the look. It also has the look of the classic coffee shops from 1990s. Let me zoom in. The classic coffee shops in the 1990s used to have a pretty big food menu. You know, think of Friends, the TV series, Central Perk. You don't see too many of these type of coffee shops anymore. They're more neighborhood spots. History complete with pigeons, says B. Yes, we might see pigeons. We might see the same pigeon I took a photo of. Who knows? Fraser features a coffee shop as well, Susan? I don't remember too much of Fraser. I remember trying to see it as a little kid and I couldn't understand it. If you know anyone, if you yourself or anyone from the fire department would love to show me in the fire truck, let me know. I think it'll be an awesome live video. Fraser was in Seattle. Yes, it was. Thank you, Zebo, for tuning in. I appreciate it. A mukbang is known as an eating show. online audio visual broadcast, which the host eats large quantities of food. Yeah, generally in Asia they eat like large quantities of food. Me, not so much. Prospect Place was renamed after the subway accident that killed 70 people in 1917. Yeah, that was a very sad accident. Far says we can work something out on Metrotech. Ooh, cool. There's like an outdoor nightclub called Dorset. Interesting name for a nightclub, Dorset. Look at that. Live DJ and everything. Hey, Roma Czech. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. How's it going, man? Here's one of my favorite coffee shops, Conditori. They haven't been open during the pandemic, unfortunately. Meet me at the Dorset Club. Yeah, Dorset is, I think, a neighborhood in London. Such a weird name. Here's another coffee shop. Lots of coffee shops here. This has become quite a hotspot for coffee shops. Persevere Faith asks, if you could live anywhere in New York City, any location, where cost wasn't an issue, where would you prefer to live and what kind of place? I've been doing a lot of thinking about that. And yeah, I've been doing a lot of thinking. I am not 100% sure. Originally it was Brooklyn Heights, but considering that there's a massive highway underneath it, I might not want to live there. I think the place I would want to live is like a penthouse apartment that has waterfront views in Williamsburg or in Greenpoint, Brooklyn. That would be one of the places I would live. Or I would live in a penthouse apartment in Soho, where I can see views of both New York, both of downtown and Midtown. That would be my ideal place. Let me know in the comments. What would be your ideal place to live in New York?
You're done, right?
Yeah, we're done. Thank you so much.
So Soho's the one top, I would say. I would love to live in Soho, but it would have to be a penthouse. I wouldn't live anywhere else in Soho if we were in a penthouse. Sandra, thank you so much for the stars. West Village, hands down. Yes, West Village, you know, the more I think about West Village, the more I warm up to it. Townhouse would be awesome. It's nice to own a townhouse because it's basically your own place. Williamsburg says, Linda, Dwayne, you love to live in Little Italy. Interesting. Okay, I think we're stopping soon. Anywhere near the water. Oh, says Kate. Yeah, and luckily nowadays there's more and more places near the water. The only downside is that some places near the water have highways right underneath them, right in front of them. Like all along Manhattan, on either side, all the waterfront residential buildings have a highway right in front of them. However, things might change when electric cars come about, because electric cars don't release any exhaust. And today, as I was walking through Flatbush, there was a whole lot of traffic. So I felt kind of like a layer of dust and debris on my hands and my skin. And that's because of all the exhaust from the cars. However, with electric vehicles, that's going to change. And they're also, you can barely hear them. They're very quiet. so they produce very little sound. Any train experts here? Oh, I wish I were train experts. I think I have a few of them who watch my videos. Scott. There was light sparks shooting off the train. I think that's fairly normal. I've seen that many, many times in New York. Is New York City an older city than LA? Yes, persevere. So LA started really developing in 1920. Mostly because of the film industry, and also there was an oil boom. So it was an oil boom, and then the movie industry started in 1920s. Boom, it grew very quickly. However, before 1920s, LA was just like a town. Barely a city. The only real city in California at that time was San Francisco. Maybe Sacramento because of the gold rush as well. Thus, New York, for context, started growing as a city in 1600s with the Dutch New Amsterdam, and then later the British took over and it grew much rapidly. So New York has been a city since the 1600s. Brooklyn has been a city since the 1700s. And then it combined with New York later on. Look at that cool car. It almost looks like the Ghostbusters car. Yes, Julio, that's the reason why California end up taking the movie industry, LA, because they have more sunny days. But that's changing because many places don't depend on sunny days. It would look like a Corolla DeVille. Susan, do I have any moderators? I have one. Though I don't think anyone's being a nuisance. So I really appreciate everyone giving cool comments, really good comments, thoughtful questions as well. And California has the best light record. Yes, it does. It really does. The Long Island Railroad, I've seen so many sparks on the Long Island Railroad. Scott. This was a great live stream. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed it. I'll stay on for about 15 more minutes. Let me know if you have any questions. Urbanist Day is this Monday, September 7th. Every September 7th is Urbanist Day. It's the 4th year anniversary of me making videos on Urbanist. It's not just about me, but it's about many of you who have been tuning in for a portion of that time, maybe very long or just recently if you just started tuning in from YouTube. So if you want to join in the celebration, I'll be going live at 11 a.m. New York City time on Urbanist Day, which is Monday, September 7th. And then all my live videos is Wednesdays and Saturdays at 1 p.m. Then beyond that, I will be doing a special September 11th broadcast to remember or recognize the people who unfortunately lost their lives that day. And I'll be visiting the memorial and showing it to you. So let's walk around a little bit more and let me know if you have any last remaining questions. You can follow me on Instagram as well. And I'll put it on my, actually. Big thanks to all these supporters. Tom, Jin, Diana, Stephanie, Judith, Ziad, Sandra, Lori. Supporters and patrons have really coming in. Big thanks to the PayPalers, the Super Chatters, the Star Senders. Ooh, Mediterranean cuisine. Nice.
Caring for them.
I'm curious about this restaurant, so I'm gonna check out this restaurant. It looks very nice. And breaking the record today? No, not today. I'm a bit. So that's really cool. That place is African American owned. And I would encourage anyone who's a tourist coming here, do give your support to African American owned businesses. One important reason, again, aside from politics, is these neighborhoods are classically African American, along with the neighborhoods nearby, like Fort Greene, which is this way, Bedford-Stuyvesant is that way as well. African American neighborhoods that have been so influential to New York City culture, to American culture, and has gone beyond to all around the world, to the point where anywhere around the world can recognize jazz, hip hop, electronic disco, and countless other types of music. Even punk music was innovated by African Americans. They were one of the first bands out there. There's a band called Death that predated even the Ramones. So give your support to Black-owned restaurants and bars here if you can. Check that out. That was the corner of Dean Street and Washington. Dean Street and Washington Avenue. And the same would apply too if you go to a Puerto Rican neighborhood, to give your business to a Puerto Rican neighborhood, or if you go to a Mexican neighborhood or a Greek neighborhood, etc., etc. Any neighborhood you come to, definitely, I would say, if you're a tourist, yes, you can go to a major bar, or you can go to a chain restaurant, or you can go to one of the trendy chains. But in New York, there's so many independent businesses out here. And same thing applies to other cities like London and Paris and Rome. Give them your support, because, you know, you'll have better food most likely. And also you'll maybe have a very interesting, unique environment as well. Is your selfie mode flip? Yes, it is. So let's walk through here. And John, yes. Jamie, I would ask you to keep it light. Thank you. Yeah, if you see any political comments, do not respond to them. Anyone else, do not respond to them. There's plenty of other great political sites, YouTube channels, live streamers out there who cover politics, go much more into detail, who are amazing. Don't respond to them. They can go to all the other wonderful channels out there. Is it mandatory to wear a mask? It's mandated, Jose, aquí. Not mandatory, so there is no fine or any punishment you can get from the law, but it is encouraged by everyone to wear a mask. I'm wearing a mask. All right, so I'm walking towards the end of Dean Street. I'll show you the main thoroughfare for this area of Brooklyn, how you can walk to Dumbo and the other places out, and right there. And that's about 5 minutes away. Hello, Linda, nice to see you. The sun is beaming. Yes, it is beaming. On this street, it always beams exactly on the street when you're walking. Is that church up ahead? I think it is. It's really beautiful. Oh wow. I'll stop for a second. Beautiful. Thank you for your last video as viewed just before the live stream. Beautiful historic neighborhood. Love the historic homes. I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Lori. Thank you so much. Beautiful church. If anyone knows the name of this church, let me know in the comments. You should put sunblock next time. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Do you run or do yoga? I do yoga. I don't run. I do yoga. Never been a fan of running. And here's the houses in front. These houses you may recognize in like TV shows. They often show the characters living here. Even like a movie like Spider-Man Into the Spideyverse. Miles Morales is depicted in living a similar type of home. Looks like Saint something. Yeah, well, yeah, it's Saint something, definitely. Or Our Lady. It's either one of those two when it comes to most churches, Christian churches. Our Lady or Saint. Have you thought of doing small businesses, neighborhood, in partnership with the local chambers of commerce? Yeah, James, I've partnered up with chambers of commerce in other cities, specifically Maine. I partnered up with the Chamber of Commerce. I've tried here in New York. I have to say to you, they aren't really friendly to collaborations. Nothing against them, but just they've either never responded or never followed through. And trust me, I've tried. I really would love to help the Chamber of Commerce and highlight more small businesses, but no, they never really respond to me. So look at this. Also on the corner, if you hang left, there's another great cocktail bar called the Weather Up. Wow, this is very lively right now. What song best describes New York City? Well, the song New York City by John Lennon captures the energy of New York. New York City by Kiss also really captures New York. Empire State of Mind captures New York atmosphere by Alicia Keys and Jay-Z. There's countless songs, so yeah, those are my 3 recommendations. New York City by John Lennon, New York by Kiss, and Empire State of Mind by, is it Alicia Keys? Alicia Keys definitely does a version of Empire State of Mind, so it might not be Alicia Keys. Let me know. Jay-Z is definitely on the original one. Sinatra, New York, New York. Yeah, that's a great song. It does capture New York. Sinatra's New York, New York captures like a classic New York. It captures the old school ambiance of New York. But the reason I didn't name it right now is because, I don't know, I listen to it, I don't feel like this is the New York I experienced at this very moment in time. It's a beautiful song. But to me, New York, New York is like walking through Midtown Manhattan Christmas. That's what New York, New York by Frank Sinatra feels like. Billy Joel, New York State of Mind, another classic song. So beautiful, lots of life around here. Highly recommend coming to Vanderbilt Avenue. We basically did a huge, massive circle. So I started right over here, my friend's Gran Caffe. My first recommendation, the community garden is right down there. And we literally just did a full circle. Actually, let's complete the circle. I'll go, might as well. 2. Let's complete the circle. Do I do vlogs for the holiday season? I do. If I'm in New York in the holidays, which I usually am. So here's where it started. Literally full circle. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Highly recommend going to Gran Caffe, Joyce Bake Shop for the black and white cookies. And there's many other wonderful restaurants here. Lots of life on Vanderbilt Avenue. Thank you so much for watching. See you on Urbanist Day, September 7th, this Monday at 11 a.m. And if we complete the whole course again, we will beat the record. We would. I appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank you so much. And follow me on Instagram at Urbanist Live or TikTok, Ariel Vieira. Keep being awesome and always keep on exploring. Have a good day, everyone. Bye-bye.